not handled our bases, education, having individuals who are able to then plug into that economy in terms of research and development, talk about tech where we are today. Are we able to say that we do not have an education population, yet we aspire to get to the first world, or we are struggling with education? Then there is health. Health is a problem. You are having issues with treating the very population that you depend on to help you get to that first world status that you're looking for. Is that possible? Or how critical then is it to invest in these sectors that I've mentioned for that first world status to be a reality?
Wow, a lot to unpack there. I was just trying to disentangle my thoughts here. So you've got a government that has decided to say, look, health will be on us, right? Education on us, infrastructure on us, right? It's a good thing that Kibaki let a bit of energy go. Yeah. So that private sector now is running with that. And of course, we're lucky also that we've got private sector investment in education and healthcare. Very lucky that. So you've got your own system of insurance and whatnot. But government has said, look, we're going to compete in this market. We're going to do this, right? The biggest problem now is pricing. Because then, how do you... because this has to be sustainable, right? Yeah. So do you price at the till, at the point of purchase, or do you price via tax? So we've got some sort of mix of that, some wild mix. So you've got people pay a token at the till. So when you go to Kenyatta, you go to Mbagathi Hospital or whatever, you'll pay their bit. Education, you might pay a bit. Okay, we try to make primary education free.
It is not.
but there have been fees creeping in one form or the other. So it's So reality checks in, right? So I would have much rather resources go towards funding investment where incomes can rise, right? So that people can participate more robustly in the economy, and that way they are able to pay their way around things, rather than trying to make things less expensive for everybody. So you start hiding costs in government spending and taxes, and then now you start borrowing. And then over time the bill gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and at some point you're just staring at default, which many countries are experiencing that as we speak, including what we call first world countries. If you look at Japan right now, been running crazy budget deficits forever, since mid-80s, I think. So it's taken that long this is when they're beginning to feel the pain. UK is going through the same thing. US, the budget deficits are legendary, but one might argue that war was part of them. But if you look at their spending, a good chunk of it goes to welfare spending. So you're funding consumption today, and you're taking away resources from investment. So where is tomorrow's employment going to come from? So it's really how you. The question you ask is about how we've organized our economy, and I think the government has taken too much. It's bitten more than it can chew, and what is happening then is not even indigestion. It can't even swallow. So you've got a serious structural problem, and we have to probably have to restructure this economy.
Okay, so what are the ingredients towards a developing economy?
Yeah, so there are about three things that matter. So many people like to pursue this from a sectoral perspective. Okay. But for me, that's not what it is. What it is you look at employment. We start from a truism where everybody, we say man's needs and wants are unlimited. So all you need to do to get employed is to pick out whatever need or want that has not been satisfied, and try to satisfy it economically. So you create, so this guy wants this itch scratched. He'll only pay so much because he obviously is not gonna, there's only a maximum for every product, a maximum price, right? So if you're able to supply a product at a price lower than what he's willing to pay, he's always gonna pay. And that's how our employment is dealt with. So the more employed people you have, then the less people you have to, you know, if you argue that one of government's role is to help the poor, then you'll have less poor people to help.
Yeah.
Right?
So one of them is creating employment.
So you need an environment that allows for employment creation. And that's why entrepreneurs will talk a lot about cost of doing business, which is very closely linked to cost of living. When the cost of living goes up, the cost of doing business is also going up.
Okay.
All right. So that's one of the reasons we track inflation, because we need to ensure that the cost of living is low, so that the environment in which people are investing and trading is stable. And when you have that, it's easier for entrepreneurs to invest, to work together with investors to invest, and you create employment that way. And the more the